LiberalViewer presents.
So I hate to pick on Fox News when they actually come out on the correct side of an issue, but even when I saw several segments on Fox News last week obviously supporting the free speech rights of students at a California high school sent home for wearing American flag t-shirts on Cinco de Mayo, I couldn't help noticing the support on Fox News was often couched in terms that tried to limit the free speech rights of students in general, as you can see, for example, in the comment from Steve Doocy on Fox and Friends last Friday here.
You know, if the school has a dress code that prohibits T-shirts with certain things on, I can understand that. But for this, seems a little crazy.
And I'm suspicious of the strength of the support for student free speech on Fox News, not just because of Steve Doocy's caveat there, but also because of previous Fox News broadcasts denigrating student free speech rights I've documented in videos like the one from last year about students wearing anti-Islam t-shirts at a school in Florida, or my video from 2006 about the student suspended for displaying a banner that said, "Bong hits for Jesus," when the actual standard for student free speech according to the Supreme Court allows students full free speech rights unless there are, quote, facts which might reasonably have led school authorities to forecast substantial disruption of or material interference with school activities, unquote. But no one explained that legal standard on Fox and Friends, and even worse, the Fox News anchors seemed intent on stoking the kind of ethnic tensions that might actually provide the facts that would justify school speech regulations, as you can see, for example, in the awful comment from the brown-haired guy who's not Steve Doocy here.
But I noticed the vice principal's name is Miguel Rodriguez. Maybe he thought it was personally insulted, perhaps, that there was no salute to Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mexican holiday.
Sure.
Now, instead of making ethnic accusations that increase animosity, a better approach, I think, is to call out the censorship for what it is and emphasize the rights of all students, which is exactly what I saw from Julia Harumi Mas, a great staff attorney at the American Civil Liberties Union of Northern California, an organization for which I serve on the board of directors, so I was particularly proud to see Julia on ABC's local San Francisco station, KGO, saying this.
It was censorship to tell the students not to wear the American flag shirts, and those are rights protected by the California Education Code and both the California and U.S. constitutions.
And that's right, of course, because the Supreme Court case I cited earlier upholding the free speech rights of public school students was a case won by the ACLU, and the ACLU of Northern California has even recently put out a free speech guide you can find at tinyurl.com/speech guide. That includes a section telling students, quote, your school may not censor or punish you because of the content of your speech unless what you say is obscene, libelous, likely to incite material disruption or violation of school rules, or is deemed a true threat, unquote. And that section even ends by saying, quote, a school can't ban a t-shirt that reads no war in Iraq, but allow one that says support our troops, for example, unquote. And that's why even if the tensions were to get so high as to justify restrictions on students, which unfortunately from some footage I've seen doesn't seem entirely impossible, even then the restrictions would have to be content neutral, prohibiting nationalistic displays from every viewpoint, though I hope instead the school uses this incident as a teachable moment to instruct students on how to both express themselves and tolerate the expressions of others on these kinds of emotional issues. But I want to know what you think. Do you agree with the lawyer from the ACLU that this California high school engaged in censorship and violated the rights of the students wearing flag t-shirts? And given the way that some have used this incident to increase ethnic tensions, at what point, if ever, do you think these school officials would be justified in regulating students' nationalistic expression?
YouTube, you decide.